Chris, you guys have been pretty good defending the three in terms of percentage and the numbers that you give up. They get more of their points than most teams from the three-point line. What kind of challenge are they in terms of just getting out to them?
They're one of the biggest offensive challenges we faced all year. And, they do it because the threat of the three is real, and it's real from so many different positions. When they move Leshevsky to the 5, which they'll play him at times there when Atkinson goes out, they have 5 players that at any given time could, knock back-to-back threes in. And so it spreads the floor defensively. They run good action, and they're high IQ, move the ball to the right guy type of players. And so it's always been a big challenge with Notre Dame, just the way that they play offensively. And this year's no different.
You talked last week about trying all kinds of different things coming out of the half. You guys won that segment the other night. What did you see that was different? What did you like about what you guys did?
Well, I thought that our energy level was much better. I thought that the starting lineup did a really good job, especially for the very first time of really ever being together. I didn't necessarily love 2 bigs with 3 guards. I'd like to have a bigger small forward in there to get the most bang for your buck when it comes to offensive rebounding and just collisions in the lane and just being a more physical team. But, Dre was hurt. Just felt like it was probably the best. And I thought those guys in the first half did what we asked. And, again, that was my talking point about, after halftime, we're going to play the guys that we feel like are most effective. I felt like El wasn't necessarily – I don't say given a chance, but he was in foul trouble, and I wanted to see if he could respond.
Do you anticipate you would start that way again tomorrow?
I don't know.
Speaking of Dre, how is he back up?
Yeah, and with Dre, and it might not be the right matchup to have 3 guards. So you could easily find Dre in there as well tomorrow, just because it's maybe a little bit better matchup for us. But yeah, he's expected to play, Jody.
With Mason, you mentioned the other night, and you said a few weeks back that if this team was going to do what you think that you want them to do and think they can, that Mason was going to have to play a big role. What is different when he's on the court out there, and is it more about him being a veteran?
Well, I think being a veteran helps. He's a much bigger threat to score than most of the guards that we have off the dribble. He's strong. He's confident. He gets in the lane. He sees things. His assist-turnover ratio, whether he started, come off the bench, played a lot, played a little, has been really, really good. The other night was no different. And so he's always been a playmaker everywhere he's been, and that's recognized by our staff and his teammates.
Chris, I guess both before as an outsider to the program and now somebody in it, what do you think of when you think of Russ Smith?
I've gotten to know Russ just, through my time here at Louisville, and great personality, just very, very confident, jokey, a guy that when I watched play I felt like was electrifying. There wasn't – I talk about big moments with Mason Faulkner. There was never a big moment, too big a moment for Russ Smith. And he played like that. He played fearless. I think coaches all appreciate guys that go from being a 1-star, 2-star to an All-American. And it's just a really cool story. And I think one of the things that gets lost is that a kid from New York City makes Louisville his home. He lives in Prospect. And that just shows how much this community and this place meant to him. And I think that's a really good deal for our players as well and recruits to see that.
Urgently, I need to know, have you tried his bourbon?
No, I'm not a bourbon guy. I've tried. Rick Heber's tried to, force feed that to me from time to time. Maybe if I get a little bit older.
Chris, is there a memory? Obviously, you were at Xavier and whatnot, but is there a specific memory of Russ that maybe you have while he was a player that really stood out to you, just from watching nationally?
I I think his game winner at Cincinnati is the first thing I think of. When that's your heated rival, and I wasn't necessarily rooting for Louisville, but when it went in, I said, tough loss for those guys over at Clifton. So, yeah, I remember that was a wild ending. And like I said, the moment was never too big for Russ. Thank you.